Good afternoon. I'm Robert Downey Jr., and we are part of a collision course, a blast off, a cathartic, whatever you want to put it, inside, outside, way to go. Here we go. I'm hosting the Jeff Richards Show. This is not my show. This is the Jeff Richards Show. My name is Robert Downey Jr., and I want to make that very clear. I'm guest hosting. And we have a really cool guy today, actually, a really great comedian, a really funny comedian, and a genuine nice guy. And his name is Amir K. And let me just ask you, Amir K, what's
Yes,
the
sir.
K for? Is it
The
for
K
fun?
actually-
Is it for Kellogg's?
Yeah, no, it's not for Kellogg's. It's for Kamyab is my actual last name. And yeah, I just Amir K kind of stuck early in the comedy career, so I just kept it.
And
Kinda
you know what
cool.
also stuck?
What?
If you don't mind me saying, your hair. There's something amazing and ever ready about your hair. It's almost like, there's black in it, there's gray in it. I wore a little gray in my black when I was doing Chaplin,
Mhm.
but you do it, you pull it off. What do you do? Do you roll out of bed? Do you conditioner? What do you do?
No, that's just kind of the way it is. It just started going gray when I was like, I don't know, 26, 27. And then I liked it, so I left it, you know? But people think I highlight
but
it,
what
like I
about-
get highlights.
Right. Well, not everyone's so fortunate, but how is it that you come to that particular volume? Do you wash every 2 days, or do you do conditioner first? Or, what is it that brings you that particular thickness?
This is unwashed, so I find my hair sits nicer when it's a few days unwashed. So when I wash it, it gets real like stringy, and I don't really like the way it looks. But this is like the ideal little bit of volume to it, you know,
So,
for being dirty.
so that's a bum you out day when you have to wash it. It's a bum you out day.
Yeah, it's a bum my out day. Yeah, I have to kind of like plan it out, you know, because it's like, what am I going to do? Because it bothers me when I'm performing and stuff. It gets in my face.
Yeah, I heard your knee also bothers you. You have a sore knee.
How'd you know that? This is the first time we're meeting. That's crazy. Did Jeff tell you?
It's strange. Certain people told me, friends of Jeff's told me.
Yeah,
Specific
I was hoping
people.
to catch up with Jeff, but it's really cool to have you on here, man.
Well, it's great to be here, and it's always it's always this sort of acquiesce, finesse.
I'm not familiar with
backwards,
acquiesce.
sideways.
What's acquiesce? I'll be honest, I don't know what that word means really.
Well, it means that your knee's sore. Let's talk about your knee. What happened to your knee?
Oh, dude, I was walking up my stairs to my apartment and I just like kind of ate it and I fell on my kneecap and I was like, oh, and it was like really hard on the kneecap. And then I'm like, oh, I fucked my knee up for sure. And then I kept walking and it was fine. And then I'm like, oh, nothing happened. But then like a week later, I was driving and my knee just like felt like it was on fire. And I looked down and it's all swollen. And it was just from like pushing the gas and the brake, and it just swolled up. I don't know. So there's probably some damage underneath my knee. But I'm shocked that you know that. I'm just like absolutely shocked that you knew that.
Listen, I'm Iron Man. You're Iran Man. Okay, so let's just keep our
that.
juxtapositions.
That's funny. That is
I
funny.
have to ask you this: do you juice or blend?
I do. It's so funny. Jeff and I always we have had this like age-old debate of juice or blend. Like anytime I see him at the Comedy Store or any other comedy club, he'll ask me if I juice or blend. And you know what? I'm a blend guy because you keep the nutrients in there. You know what I mean? Like when you juice, you
but-
kind of just get the sugar. No,
You
What's your
weren't
take?
always a juice guy. You weren't always a blend guy. You were a juice guy for a while.
I was a Jack LaLanne juice guy. You know, and then
Don't you-
oh, go ahead.
Why do you feel people are so distressed or terrified to drink orange juice just because of the sugar count? Like why are people so holier than thou?
I think it's the sugar thing. I think you hit it on the head, pal. I think it's people are afraid of sugar nowadays, you know? And I try to stay away as much as I can. Natural sugar I think is okay. Like that's what I try to keep up with. But even if I have a coffee, I don't put any fake sweeteners in it anymore.
Mirrors are so fascinating, revealing everything, yet sometimes completely nothing at all. What's your relationship with Amir?
My relationship
Amir
with my
and Amir.
My relationship with Amir, to be honest, I never really liked the way I looked. And I think that's because of my dad, the way he used to talk to me. And when I was a kid, he would make me feel kind of like, I don't know, in Farsi, he would say like shitty things, like, look at this piece of shit, something like that. And so I never really liked the way I looked, or he'd make fun of my nose or something, which I don't know. So it bothered me to this day, I think. So my relationship with Amir is not so good, Robert.
What about Amir?
Myself?
Yeah, what's your relationship with yourself?
I guess it's getting better as I grow up and I learn the reasons I am the way I am. So I'm trying to get better at being more honest about how I feel and what I'm doing. So it's getting better.
Do you like flowers? Do you like flowers?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't like flowers?
But can you talk about the wherewithal a rose has, or the kind bent that a geranium has?
I honestly don't know what a geranium looks like, but I'll tell you this, when you can tell the quality of like, say you're going to buy some roses or something, you could tell, like, you hear that?
Nope.
Oh, that's my dog. He's in the back.
How's Doogie doing? Your dog Doogie, right?
Yeah, he's right here.
Does he sleep under the covers?
Look him.
Look at this dog. Jeez, what? It's like part rabbit.
Look him.
Is it a rabbit?
He's 16 years old. That's Bola. I just had to get him a surgery.
His name's... Wait, that's not Doogie?
That's Doogie. Look at him.
Well, look at the spread you got there. What is that? Is that a mini bar, or is that a straight bar that looks small?
This is my girlfriend's house, and that's her bar. She has a bar business, Cali Craft Cocktails. You should probably get her for one of your Hollywood parties, Robert. Ooh, Cali Craft Cocktails. Yeah, for one of your Hollywood parties. I don't know. You don't drink anymore, though, right? You're sober after all those like drug things, huh? You're sober after all those drug things?
Oh, you got your things. No, I'm sober, but I still like to have a good time. I'm like, I still enjoy ice cubes. I'm not a total dick.
So ice cubes is your thing now?
Pretty much.
Let me talk about flowers, dude. What I was saying is you could tell how cheap they are by, like, if they leave the thorns on them. You know what I mean? Like, I've fucked up a couple times and bought some roses off the side of the road, and they have the thorns still on them. But
those are the best part.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Well, the joys of life are the unexpected things, I guess they would say. Do I sound like Hannibal Lecter? No,
you don't. You sound like his step friend. Like a guy that's like his friend, but not really, like a step friend. First off, you still haven't answered my question about whatever that question was I asked. You remember?
I'm lost because it was about geraniums, but I didn't know what geraniums were. I know they're a flower, but I didn't know what kind.
Talk about your stand-up comedy. What is it? Where does it come from? What does it mean?
My stand-up comedy and what it means. Can I ask you a question first, real quick? How do you feel about when people do impressions of you? Oh,
I said no.
Shit. So
go ahead. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Ask the question.
Okay. No, I was going to ask you, how do you feel about when people do impressions of you? Like, do you think it's flattering, or do you feel like, do you not like it?
Well, I secretly love it.
I have a couple friends that do. I have a couple friends that do impressions of you.
Well, listen, it all depends on how good the impression is. If I like it, I like it, but I'll always pretend that I don't like it because I don't like to look like I don't not like things. So that's the answer. And geraniums are a white, chunky flower that you're not going to recognize by the description, but just remember chunky flower.
Chunky white flower. I got it.
So what's something that people don't know about you? Like, what do you like to do besides fishing at 4 a.m?
How did you know that? Dude, you know a lot about me. This is crazy stuff.
I know more about you than Jeff knows about you.
Well, I thought you did your research, I guess, but I had no idea you were going to be on the show. I was hoping to catch up with Jeff, but it's kind of cool to have you here, and for you to know all these things is kind of mind blowing. Because, fishing. Who the hell would have thought? Who would have thought, like, you
Fish,
know, Robert Downey Jr. knows about my fishing mornings.
you know what? I might know about your fishing, but I know nothing about my fishing.
Have
And
you
when
ever
that
been
alarm
fishing?
clock rings, I've been fishing. I've been on a boat where people were fishing. I've had it in
What have you,
my hands before, the rod, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's not necessarily something I enjoy. But you, Amir K, you wake up 4 in the morning. Do you set your alarm?
I do. I'll set my alarm, but it's funny when I go fishing, I don't really need to set it because I'll just wake up because I'm so excited to go. I just wake up and I go with
And
some
you,
friends, and it's a lot of fun, and it's nice to be out there on the water, you know. And ocean fishing, you never really know what's going to come up. I mean, you target some species, but you never know what's going to come up.
I like how you just landed on that.
Did you?
You're particular. You have a certain way about you. You have a way. You have a caress. You have a caress about you.
Well,
I could
I've
have said
never heard it put
finesse.
that way.
I could have said finesse, and I meant to say finesse, but you have a caress. And I think you chamber that, and you let it go into this weird juxtaposition, this cathartic, strange, you know, a space planet, you know, where are we going to find our water? You know, you have this confidence in you that when you go on stage, you are allowing yourself to become the real you. And who is the real you if it's not the person on stage? Do you cry in a bathtub?
I don't think I've ever cried in a bathtub. No, I have cried before, but not in a bathtub. I don't think.
You never, did you
You
ever
know, it's
finish
so
it?
you have a very eloquent way of saying things, and it's interesting because I'm trying to follow along, and you know, I'm processing it, but at the same time, I don't understand a lot of it.
I find it amazing that a guy like you can be told he's not good looking and let it stick with you for so long. At this point, you have to realize how good looking you are. This is not tribalism. It's not, you know, cathartic. And we said cathartic, but it's not cathartic journey. It's not a cathartic journey. It's your basic journey. It's like, you know, you're looking in the mirror at Snow White. You're pretty much Snow White.
I've never heard it put that way. Again, I mean, you're opening my mind to a lot of different views that I have never like let myself see. But I appreciate the compliment. But that just is self. You know, that's something I deal with. You know, so I guess I have to be better about that. But that's just
Did you ever
something
have
from
a
my
dream?
childhood. I've
Have you
had
ever had
plenty
a
of
dream?
dreams. Yeah, I've had
Okay,
tons of
let me
dreams.
finish. Let me finish.
Hmm.
Have you ever had a dream where you dreamed this whole dream and then you wake up and you live the dream and then you live it as someone else and you find out that that's a dream?
I can't say. Well, the way that you explained it,
Let me do
no.
it again. You didn't understand me. Let me do it again. You ever had a
Okay,
dream
I had a dream. Yes.
where you dreamed something,
Hmm.
then you woke up and then you lived
Yep.
the dream as somebody else, then you realized that was also a dream.
Oh, like a dream within a dream.
Dream a little dream.
Dream a little dream with me. Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Or whoever. It
I've
doesn't
had
have
that.
to be.
I've had that happen where I wake up, I'm in the dream, and then I go, oh my God, that was a dream. And then I don't know if I've been somebody else though. It's still been me. And then I wake up and I go, holy shit, that dream was a dream. And then I wake up and it's me in the bed.
Shit, you peed in the bed?
I peed in the bed. Sure.
When's the
I've
last time
peed
you
in the
peed
bed
in the
before.
bed?
Last time I peed in the bed, I think I was like 16 or 16, 17. And I drank a couple beers like right before I went to bed. I remember I had 2 beers in my pocket, like in my cargo pants. And I slammed them before I went to bed, and I woke up and what the fuck did I spill in bed? And I pissed myself. I had pissed myself. I had
So,
pissed in the
did you have a
bed.
dream? Was it a dream that you had about pissing?
I didn't have a dream
Do you
that night.
remember?
No, I don't recall having a dream that night about pissing. But I know some people will be like, oh, like you have a dream like you're pissing something, and then you'll wake up and you actually pissed yourself. Have you ever pissed your pants?
I'm peeing right now. I got a slow drip. I got a very, very slow drip. It's so slow, I have nothing to worry about. My doctor says I have nothing to worry about. I have enough money where my doctor just tells me I'm fine. Do you have one of those?
Really? I
Yeah,
don't
it's just
have
like you're
health
fine
insurance. I don't have health insurance right now.
because you
So
don't need it, you don't want it, you just holding out.
I just lost my SAG insurance, so I just don't have it. You probably don't have to worry about that though, because you're always doing movies and stuff.
You know, it's funny. I just lost my SAG insurance.
No, you didn't.
I did. I'm not joking. It's not a joke. I'm not making a joke. If I was making a joke,
Don't
I'd
you
say
have
I'm
like
making a
Sherlock
joke.
Holmes 4 coming out or something?
Listen,
You
don't
lost
try
it
to
completely.
you're trying to sidewind me.
I'm trying to sideswipe you. I'd never try to sideswipe Robert Downey Jr., man. Why would
Juice
I
or
do that?
blend?
This is like, I blend. I already told you that.
Okay, then
Now
tell
you're
me what
starting
you
to get
blend.
like, I blend fruits and stuff, man. Like what everybody else does.
Like what?
What's like? I
You
don't
ever
know.
put
Carrots.
spinach?
I do celery. I do spinach. I've done spinach before, but I find that it makes the mix bitter. So I don't like to put too much spinach. So sometimes I won't put a
Oh, you
lot of
don't like to
spinach.
have the best. You don't like to have the best vegetable in your blends.
I never said that. I never said that I don't like to have the best vegetable in my blends. I said I put everything in it. I don't like to put too much spinach because it makes it bitter. That's what I said.
Okay, so you do use spinach. It makes it bitter. You put a little sweet in there because you're a sissy boy. And then what? Then what happens? You use a straw?
No, I don't use a straw. I drink it right out of the thing, like how you're supposed to. I drink it right out of the thing. I don't even like. Sometimes it has my blender has a thing where you can put it and have a handle. I don't even use that.
You just said I used the thing. I put it in the thing. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the blender. Okay, the blender has a cup that you put all the ingredients in, right? And then you blend it, not juice it, like you keep saying. I don't juice. I've already covered this. And then I blend it all. I don't put too much spinach because it makes it bitter. I didn't say better. I said bitter. Okay? Better. I said bitter, not better. So then I take it out. I take the cup out, and it comes with a little screw top that gives you a handle to hold it, which is completely unnecessary because I just hold the cup and I drink it out of the cup.
Are you doing a joke right now? Is this part of your routine? Are you doing?
It's not part of my
material?
act. No, I'm just getting a little
You
bit
should put
frustrated.
this into your act.
You're one of those guys.
And by the way, that just seems at this point like a prop coffee because you've gone to it like 20
There hasn't been
times.
coffee in there for the last half hour.
We've
Okay.
only been on less than half hour. So
Exactly.
you were doing this before we started.
It's been no coffee the whole time. It's a prop coffee. There's nothing in here.
When you see an insect on the ground, do you squash it with your feet?
I don't. No. I haven't done that for a long time.
And when you
I don't
were doing
squash.
that,
Mhm.
was there something going on in your life? Something that made you do that?
No, when I was younger, I may have done it once or twice, but how far do you want to go back? Doogie, what's
How
wrong?
far are you willing to go back?
Bela! Bela! I think my dog needs to go outside. Okay, I'm just on an interview here with Robert Downey Jr. Would you mind taking Doogie out?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Bela. Sorry about that. My dog's crying to go out.
If you could be a girl for a day, would you do it? And then what would you do if you did it?
100%. Yeah, I'd do it. If I could be a girl for a day, I'd 100% do it. Just to see what the other perspective is. You know what I mean?
How would you lead your day? How would you wake up?
I would wake up, no makeup, just to see what the world's reaction is to me without anything on.
And you don't
Take a
need
look-
it.
Thank you. And I'd take a little shower, freshen up a little bit, and hit the streets. Just walk
Hit the
around, see
streets?
what people's reactions are. Maybe do my regular things. Maybe visit a couple friends. See what their take would be on it. And see how they feel about me as a woman. And then I don't know, man. Probably just go and do regular things and see how people treat me differently, or if they do treat me differently, and just see how it'd be like to be like a woman for a day. But I think every guy should want to be a woman for one day, just to see what it's like. I love being a guy. You like being a guy?
And I don't want to answer that until I don't want to answer that until I ask the next question, which is basically this. What if you had the chance to be a boy? Would you do it? What would you do for that one day?
Well, that doesn't make sense because I'm already a boy.
You wouldn't have given that answer 3 years ago.
Oh man, I don't understand. I don't understand what that question was.
And you apparently don't understand what blending is. The thing, I put the thing and I put the other thing. It's like I put the thing on the thing. It's like it's got a holder. I don't need the holder. And then you start doing stand-up bit. You start doing your bitch, which I don't mind. I enjoy your stand-up. But it's like you got to let me know when you're doing a bit.
Do you get a joy out of this? Coming, stepping in for Jeff and doing this type of thing? flustering his guests up and asking kind of ridiculous questions? Do you get a joy out of that? I was looking forward
Oh,
to
you
like,
think that
you were
they're
the guest host. I thought I was going to have a good time with you maybe. And now you're just like asking me questions that really, I'm trying to be cool. Like I was trying to be cool about how I answered everything. Oh yeah, I do that. And now you're just asking me like, what would I do if I was a fucking boy? Come on.
I didn't say fucking, by the way, and I said,
I'm
what would you do if you
frustrated, so
were
I
a
said
boy?
fucking.
And then back to the cup for nothing. No,
It's
no
not
drink.
a prop, dude. It's actual coffee. I was fucking around. Come on.
So you double kidding?
Yeah. I was kidding about kidding. Yeah, I guess that's double kidding. That's the first thing you said that made sense. Geraniums.
All right, we already talked about your hair. We talked about fishing. Have you heard my new album, The Futurist?
I have not. I'm sorry, I have not heard
It's really
of
good.
it. No.
I didn't
What kind of
design the
album?
cover, but
What kind
I
of
didn't
album
design
is
the
it?
cover. It's it's music. It's like soul. It's like, you like Seal?
I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. I like some of his music.
Okay, well, it's not like that, so that's good. It's sort of like it's basic like Rock on Pavement. It's like it's soulful. It's joyous. It brings you back around to the front of the line, and then kicks you back to the end of the line.
See, you're doing it again. You're doing it again. I don't understand any of that. Like, what does that even mean? That it's rock on asphalt? What did you say? And then it brings you to the front of the line and then the back of the line. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense. And you got to be honest with yourself, and you have to accept that does not make sense.
Okay, but do you know what a car horn is?
Yes.
Why don't you go suck one?
Is that an insult?
This is how things spiral out of control.
I was doing just fine, and I was happy to have you as the host, even though I wanted to catch up with my good friend Jeff Reinschertz. Okay, and now you're doing all this stuff. That suck a horn. You can't even suck a horn if you wanted to suck a horn.
Sure you can. Yank it out. Yank it out. Suck on it. Do it.
All right.
You can do it. Do you think rock and roll is going to get phased out?
No. I think there's going to be fans of rock and roll for the end of time. I think there's going to be fans of every type of music forever. Because everybody likes different genres. That they don't all have to like one type of music. So there will be fans of rock and roll. As long as it's good.
What kind of conversations do you have with yourself?
Like self-talk?
I mean, you could talk. Sometimes you get in full-blown conversations where I'm answering everything. It's like, it started like, basically I think when I started my career, there was a certain disconnect, and then I just go, and I just go and I go and I go. That's why I'm so good at interviews, because I'm ready to be interviewed, because I've been interviewed by myself.
Right. My self-talk is, just, I try to make it more positive now that I've been reading some of these, like, books about positive energy and the power of positive thinking and all that stuff, so I've been trying to keep it positive, because in the past I could be a little bit negative when I'm talking to myself,
Right.
So now I'm trying to be more positive. So I don't actively talk. I don't interview myself like you do, like you said you do, but
right.
I try to talk to myself in a more positive way.
But also sometimes I just convince myself that I'm a lamp, and then I wake up like just straight.
You're doing it again. Hey, Robert, I want to have this conversation, but I don't want you to take it to that I don't want you to take it to the absurd every time. Like, can we just have a conversation where you don't fucking talk about a lamp or some weird thing that doesn't make sense to what we're talking about? Like, what do you mean how do you pretend you're a lamp?
I don't. It's not a conscious thing. It's I talk myself into it as I'm going to sleep. I'm straight. I have a light bulb on top of my head. I just sort of like convince myself, and then when I wake up, for some reason, when I wake up, I'm already standing straight up like a lamp. I'm not in bed.
So, okay, okay, all right. I guess I don't know.
Do you have any social media you want to plug? Any social media you want to plug?
Have you done interviews like this before? Or is this like a first time? You said you'd be ready to be interviewed, but I don't know if you're the best interviewer, because like this doesn't even like segue to what you're asked. Like, you just said you're a lamp, and then now you want my social media. It's at Amir Comedy. It doesn't matter.
Well,
It's
you know what?
Amir Comedy.
It's
All my social media platforms are Amir Comedy, but it doesn't matter right now.
You can go to
because you just
Amir
told me-
Comedy. I love Amir. He's a great guy. But
Amir Comedy.
Adamir.
You know, the at
Sure,
sign.
Adamir.
So here we go again. What can you say about the
His
at sign?
brothers Vladimir.
Or AmirComedy.com if you want to see where I'm going to be, like my tour dates and stuff like that. You can go to AmirComedy.com. I've never shied away from it.
Maybe that's your fault.
Or,
Maybe you need to be more shy.
for what? Why should I be more shy?
Don't you want to hold a baby in your arms one day?
I don't think those two things are like in direct correlation. You don't have to be shy to hold a baby.
Yeah, but you got to be ready to hold a baby, and you got to talk to yourself.
I am ready to hold a baby.
About holding a baby.
As a matter of fact, my brother has two kids, and I'm an uncle, so I have a niece and a nephew that I've held both of them, and I haven't been shy about it at all.
Look, just because you have an East and an uncle.
See, there you go again. East. I said niece, and you knew I said niece. There's no way you knew. There's no way that you thought I said East and uncle.
I heard you say yeast. You said yeast and an uncle, right? You said yeast and uncle.
I said I am an uncle and I have a niece and a nephew. You're doing it again. Sometimes
so you're going back to the knee thing. You're talking about the knee thing again because your knee source. You're saying niece.
The knee thing had nothing to do with anything, and you asked me about that earlier. And now you're saying my yeast and my nephew. I said my niece and my nephew. That's all I said.
I didn't say your yeast. I said your yeast, your uncle. You got a sore knee. You like blending, and you're out of your control. And if you were in a room right now and the camera wasn't on, you'd kick my ass. Iron or not.
It's getting pretty tough to be interviewed by you. I'll tell you right now. And I was happy in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I was excited to do this whole thing. And I was like, how bad could it be? It's Robert Downey Jr. And then you're going to treat me like this, like treat me like I'm just some guy that you can just say whatever to it. It's almost like you're making a mockery of like what my time. And he said, get on at 11. And I was here at 11 and you had sound issues or something. I don't know what the hell was going on. I know Jeff wasn't there. I don't know how you filled in so quickly. But that's not cool,
All I
man.
know is you got a link. A link was sent to you for this interview probably about 6 or 7 times. And you weren't able to find it in your email. You weren't able to look in spam. You weren't able to go.
Jeff never even told me that it was going to be a thing sent. I texted him and he said, happening now. What the fuck does that even mean? I texted Jeff, which I'll talk to him about it. And I said, hey, dude, what's up? Like I was here ready at 11. And he goes, happening now.
Listen, hey, dude, what's up? I mean, if you want to use this loose jargon to try to convince someone you're their friend, that's fine and everything. But this is an issue of now. I'm going to ask you now, text or blend? Text or blend? Not so easy.
I'm not answering that because that doesn't even make sense. What do you mean text or blend? They're two totally separate things that don't have anything to do with each other. Text or blend in what scenario? What scenario would you ever text or blend somebody? Oh, I'm going to blend you later.
Vegetable.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You type the word tomato, you type the word onions, and then you mix them all around there in the text. Or you go ahead and you try your old Sasquatch method. Go right into the thing. Pull out the thing, put the thing in the thing. Use it. I mean, you can't even call it a blender.
I had one mishap of words. Like I messed up something I was saying. So what? And now you're gonna just stick on that to put the thing in the thing. I thought you would be able to follow me on how a blender works. There's a cup.
Listen,
there's the actual blending base. That's the other thing I was talking about.
And want to talk about following you? Let's talk about your scooter. I know you ride a scooter. We didn't get into that because I didn't have enough room on the cue card.
Sometimes I do ride a scooter.
And what does that make you better than me?
No, I just have a scooter because one time my landlord bought me out of my apartment that I was in. This was years ago, and so I bought a scooter, and I still have that scooter. So because I moved farther away from the comedy clubs, and I wanted to have an easier way to get there, and I didn't have a car at the time, so I got a scooter.
Where'd you move? I
moved from right by the Comedy Store to by Franklin and the Highland or Coinga and the 101.
Just near the bay, is it near the East Bay?
There's no bay there. No, by the 101 Cafe. There's no bay.
There's no 101. Hey, hate to drag your tonsillitis in the ground like that, but there's no 101 Cafe anymore.
Yeah, it closed down because of COVID.
Closed down because of you, your attitude, and your scooter.
It didn't close down because of me. That's not true. Dude, what, like, did you just come on here to, like, make fun of me?
Is this what you're realizing towards the very end of the interview?
Yeah, it seems like the whole time you were just trying to make fun of me, and I was like, oh, cool. And then you knew some stuff about me, like you knew my knee hurt. That was probably bullshit too. You probably just said that, and then I took the bait.
No, I got inside information about the knee. And I found out about the scooter, which I also knew about the scooter because there were stories about you and the scooter.
How'd you know about it? Tell me one of the stories then. Tell me one of the stories about me and the scooter.
There's a scooter, you know, the scooter's website. You should go on there and look at it. There's a lot of
You made it up.
stories.
I could tell by the way that you said, you know, the scooter. You said it twice, and then you were trying to make something up, and then you made up scooter website, and now we're here.
Your scooter's red.
No, it's not. It's gray.
There you know. Now you know I didn't make up the story.
That means you did make up the story because you didn't know that it was gray.
Well, it was great having you on today. It was just a pleasure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like you think that you're going to talk to Danny DeVito, but you're actually just talking to Doogie, the dog, who needs a walk desperately, or he's going to throw niblets on the carrot stained rug. This
Whatever,
is
dude.
not what I wanted out of an
nice
interview.
Meeting you, man. Really nice meeting you. I'm out of here, dude. Like, you're just being rude the whole time. Now you're talking shit about my dog. Have some tact, man.
Tax thing you step on.
Oh, there you go.
Hurt your feet.
Means had nothing to do with what I said again, so I have to go back to my fake coffee.
Poltergeist. Like poltergeist gets turned around upside down on its head. This is the kind of attitude I get.
Where'd you get that jacket?
I've had this jacket. I wear it all the time.
That's not what I heard. This is how you interview. That's not what I heard. I heard you had a red jacket. Just fucking bullshit, guy.
You didn't hear I had a red jacket. Who'd you hear that from?
I didn't, but that's like you saying I have a red scooter. Who the hell did you hear that from, guy? Robert Downey
Scooter
Jr.
Blend.
Guy?
Scooter Blend. I can't tell who wants to get out of this more, if it's you or me, because I
was excited to do it. I was happy to do it, bro.
It's hard.
Until now.
It's hard to finish things. You know, we're going at rocket pace, and you're using snail fluid. Okay, you want to go? Go. Run to your little dog. Run to your girlfriend. Run to your skirt.
Skirt.
I love when you do that voice. A little louder. Project.
Project.
Amir K for the hour. I'm Robert Downey Jr. This
Horrible
is the
interviewer.
Jeff Richards Show.
Wish he was here.
And you're going to see Jeff next week. He'll be back.
Great.
Until then, this is the Jeff Richards Show, thejeffrichardshow.com. I'm Robert Downey Jr. This is Amir K. Any last words?
Nope. Fuck you.
And now a song from Meanest Man Contest. No, let's change that. Do a reversal. And now a song. No, let's do it. And now a song from Meanest Man Contest.